This is Toe to Toe Podcast, episode 60. I put
Yes.
that on there. Okay. Welcome to another episode of Toe to Toe. What's up, Jen Mertlen?
Hello, Monica Weekly. How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
Super.
All right, Jen, in our continued effort to demonstrate to our favorite people on the planet, real estate agents,
Mm-hmm.
in our continued effort to demonstrate to them that there is more than one way to win in this business, let's you and I duke it out over something today. What do you say?
All right, let's do it.
All right, you know what we're going to do? Let's duke it out over this. Should you use your commission to settle buyer and seller disputes? In other words, should you tap into some of your own money to settle buyer and seller
That's a dumb question?
Well, of course you think it's dumb because you have some short answer with no explanation.
Right.
And you want to move on.
Correct.
Okay, what is it?
No. What do you think?
No, hold on. Let me clarify. You have never tapped into your own commission to keep a deal together.
Look, using absolutes like never, always, blah, 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 right? I'm just saying, like, in general, the answer is no, we're not a party of the contract. It is not up for negotiation.
Okay, so of course, I know that in general, correct. Like, no, your money is well earned, and we sometimes jump into that too quickly.
No? Also?
No. I say there are absolute times that makes good financial sense.
Okay, we'll fight about that. I feel like there's something about that. Yeah. I think agents are like, they're too easy to, I'm not trying to predict what you're going to say, but I feel like we fought about this when we talked about that episode where it's like your seller leaves a fridge or something like that. And we kind of got into a little bit about commission.
Mm-hmm.
Do you remember that episode?
I do a little bit. Yes.
So I feel like I might have an idea of what you're going to say. I think like if I've used my commission, if I've made a mistake, right?
Yes.
So like if I wrote, like if I entered in the MLS that there's a fridge and there wasn't, I've purchased a fridge before. I mean, that was my mistake, right?
Sure.
And it's not fair to be like, oh, sorry.
Mm-hmm.
But like in general, I think that many agents I've seen are very, very quick to use their commission to like get the deal done. Mm-hmm. So what are the reasons that you are stating that it's okay?
So the first thing I want agents to understand is your time is valuable. There is a dollar sign on your time. And when we start understanding that, a lot of the things we've talked about over episodes change, right?
Yeah.
Agents don't value their time, and they don't understand that you are a $300 an hour employee, like, right? And anytime you're doing a $15 an hour task, then you're not earning your 300 or whatever. Right. So with that as the backdrop, I say, so I had something recently that I think made a lot of sense for me to give up some of my commission on. I had a listing. We had the first deal fall through. We had the second deal stick. These buyers beat my sellers up pretty hard on things they wanted. And my sellers obviously did not want to walk. They also were under a time, constraint.
Okay.
They got to the point where they were giving ridiculous amounts of money in the form of repairs and stuff. And it was kind of ridiculous. And these buyers had them in a corner, basically.
Why?
Because
you always have a choice. You might not like your choices, but you always have a choice.
I get that, but they didn't have a choice due to like some traveling and their new build, and like the timing was critical and we were down to the wire.
Okay.
So, so these guys were like, all right, we're going to do this. And then that's it. We're absolutely done. And we're going to walk. Like they were willing to walk. Right.
They should, if that's what they were thinking. Right. Like we're over extended here.
They did. Right. So I went back. Buyer said, well, we need this last thing. And my seller's like, F that, we're done. Okay. This last thing was, I think it's $500 or $600. And I said, guys, you really want to walk over $500 or $600? They're like, Monica, it's not the $500 or $600. It's the principal.
It's the principal. Yeah, right. I can see that.
Okay. Totally get that. Now, I can for $500 keep this deal together and close it in 13 days. Or I can say F you too and go back on the market, renegotiate an entire new deal, go through another round of inspections, wait another 40 days, listen to these guys. Like, no, that is asinine to do that. That is a
No, it
poor
was
management.
asinine not to walk.
No, it's not. I mean, I'm going to spend another 10, 15 hours or no more hours.
No, because I don't
$500.
really think that would have happened. I think if what you're explaining, like they've been giving up so much that it probably the buyers would have like maybe done
Maybe
something,
they
or
would
the
have.
sellers would have done something, or like they would have split it, or like they would have worked that out. Yeah, I think you
Maybe.
jumped in. Is it possible?
No. We had been going around. No, this had been going on for quite some
So
time.
this was like, okay.
I don't give up my money quickly. Like, this is a like Hail Mary 11th hour. This is only when I give my money up, when I really do feel like my guys are going to just absolutely bolt. And I'm not trusting the other side because they've not shown up that way in any, all my evidence says they're not going to show up that way.
Then
So
maybe they
to
didn't want the
me,
house.
that was the best money. Well, plus this was a $600,000 house. So $500 to me split with 80-20 with my brokerage and then taxes. Like, I'm really talking about $300 here. Best money I ever spent. You cannot convince me otherwise.
I'm not trying to convince you. I'm going to just politely disagree with you. I'm going to impolitely disagree with you.
Well, I wasn't willing to risk. Sometimes you have to weigh the pros and cons of the moment. And if you can solve it with a net number of a couple $100, to me, that's a smart business.
Maybe, but you're not a party of the contract. It is up to the buyers and sellers. And if they can't agree, then go find another buyer.
If it didn't affect me, that's a fine argument, but it affects me. It affects my family. It affects my future business. It affects me.
You really don't think that there was any way that could have gone together without
you and I both know people have done stupid ass shit and walked away from deals for $100. You and I both know that's true. Do not tell me that's not true. You know it. People get crazy.
Yeah, they have.
You can test it. I'm not saying don't test it. And I have seen it over and over again. Agents want to give their money up like in the first hint of pushback. Wrong. That's not.
It's definitely important to push on that.
I'm not talking about that. So I will hold on to my money for a long time. But guess what? By me doing that, these guys, my sellers, were like, are you kidding me, Monica? Thank you so much. We've had so many agents. You are by far the best. And it wasn't just because of that, but it was like, that was the bow. Well, no, but it made a raving fan. And that $300, I can't spend $300 to make a raving fan any other way.
I don't know.
No gift is going to give a raving fan status like that.
No, I don't think you should get gifts either.
Well, we'll talk about that. Haven't we already talked about that?
We have. That's like, I think our most listened to one is did you give gifts or not? Yeah.
It's a big dilemma.
I don't know. What are your other circumstances? So you're saying, I think we're in agreement that people tend to give it up too easily.
Yes, for sure.
And if you're going to, you're saying make it a business decision.
100%
I'm
business
saying
decision.
If you are starting to get uncomfortable and I need you to push like 3 to 5 more times past your comfort zone before you make that decision.
It's possible, or it's just a good business decision. Not only my reputation is on the line, I don't want that sign in the yard for another 35 days. That'd be a good scenario, 35 days. That's if we got a contract right away tomorrow. I don't want my sign in the yard for 35 more days. That's my reputation in that neighborhood. I also don't want to spend 10 or 15 more hours starting over.
Do you have any other examples of when you think it's a good idea?
I think that encompasses all of it. Like, you're looking at your own business. I'm not doing this for them necessarily. I'm not doing this for the buyer for sure. I'm doing it for me.
Where was the buyer's agent?
She was okay. She just wasn't seasoned enough to probably push on him. And I couldn't do that. And they also, I think, weren't.
She didn't want to participate in that business decision?
I never, ever ask another agent to spend their own money, ever.
If you're spending yours and it's
It's my decision. That's my decision. I would never ask you to give up your commission. That is none of my business.
I would tell you no.
I would never ask. And I think it's wrong for people to ask. And I very rarely had any agent ask. I've had a couple.
He didn't offer, or he didn't offer?
No, because I just said, we've got a deal.
Oh, got it. So they didn't know.
Well, they might have when it's sorted out on the commission.
Yeah, but not like.
Yeah, I'm like, we've got a deal. We're good doing it.
I mean, I think in general, my answer is still a very strong no, but I can see your point of view. I don't know if I'm not agreeing with you.
Would you say that it's more important, the principle of the thing?
I think it depends on the situation, right? So like, I understand what the sellers are saying based on the details of the example you provided, right? Like, I get it. They're just like, one more thing. And I don't know the context. So I can only base it off of what you said. So like in my head, I'm thinking like one of them, the people that are participating in the contract, the ones who want to buy and sell the home would have figured it out. But if you're telling me that they wouldn't have figured it out, then they're dumb.
I just think they were done. I think they didn't really want to sell to these guys anymore because they had turned them off. Like, it's a whole emotion.
Yeah, I get it. It's annoying. Yeah. It's totally emotional.
I agree. Yeah. And for my own protection, I'm not going to let their end of their rope affect my business. I got them here. I got him to the finish, like one foot before the finish line. Guess what? You're going over the finish line. I push them right over there.
I think in general, there are many, many times where we have to help our clients get out of their own way. Yes. I don't know if this was one of those times, right? I think I was not in the situation, so I don't know.
Yeah, I get that.
There have been plenty of times where like something similar has happened and we've gone back on the market. Or most of the time, what ends up happening is the buyers and sellers figure it out. There have been much less times where, either like me and the other agent together did something, or I can't even talk. It's just
it's so upsetting.
I don't like it because we earn our money. Like we made that money. We are not a part of the contract. So I'm just very confused as to why it's even up for discussion.
Because it's a smart business decision in some cases.
Maybe, but very few, and it happens way too much.
Well, that we agree on. We will agree on. That agents give in too early, that it happens too often, fully agree. But on the stance of should it ever happen, I say, yes, there are times where that makes a lot of sense. You've got to know what's going on in your business. Do you have time? Does this make sense in that neighborhood? Do you want to be on the market another 45 days in that neighborhood or 35 or whatever?
I think that's then going back. Yeah. So exactly. Go back to their motivation, and you're either the buyer or seller, right? So like if you're the buyer, be like, okay, well, we've looked at so many X number of houses. We put in X number of offers. We're going to put, earnest money down. We're going to spend another inspection. I mean, you're talking a whole nother inspection, $500. You're going to spend that when we go on another house. So do you want to do that, which is fine. Or do you just want to take that, do it, like spend it on this house? You love this house.
It's real easy when you're the buyer's agent to chip in because you're going to go out with them another how many times over how many months. And then you don't even know if you're going to get the deal.
But neither does the buyer. So it's easier for them to be like, especially if it's $500 on a $650,000 house or something like that. That's ridiculous. I mean, those inspections are those are like $1,000.
I know.
So what you're telling me, Mr. Buyer, is that you would rather spend $1,000 more plus what is your job? Oh, you're an executive for whatever. And how much money do you make? Oh, right. So we're going to spend all that money to step over $500 to spend another $1,000 plus all your time. Is that what you really want to do?
Well, Jen, we've really just lost confidence in this house. And so I think the point is that this is what it takes for us to feel comfortable moving forward with this house, period.
Okay, then let's go. Let's cancel.
No, that's where I say, you know what? I'm going to make this happen for you.
Call their bluff.
No. I don't have time. I ain't got time.
Well,
I need to return to my corner or break.
Go back. All right. We're going to go back to our corners and we'll take a short break and hear a word from our sponsor. When we return, we will have the final punches. Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah. Welcome back. Now, I've been recovering from some blows to the face by Mertlin here. Jen, while I continue to put smelling salts up my nose, do you have extra, like a street fight on this, or extra rounds, or what do we got?
I mean, we do have I don't know. I guess they are considered a tiebreaker. I mean, as usual, you know how people are.
Yeah. Okay. They like what I say.
Yeah.
That's how people are. Normal and right.
Not right.
That's funny.
Just
All right.
because we're in agreement doesn't mean that y'all are right.
Oh, good point. That's a good point. You're right. We're just majority. That's all.
Correct. Majority's not always right.
Not
I will
always
not
right.
cite the examples.
That's true. Good point. All right. Give us kind of your overview on why you think we should not dip into our commissions.
It's so simple. We are not a party of the contract. Done.
Done. Okay. My argument is this: time is money. You are running a business. Run it smart, get the job done, move on, earn raving fans, and just be sure you're spending your money in a wise way.
It's fine. I have a caveat.
Oh, here we go.
Okay, so if I don't know what my dollar per hour is, do you have an easy way for me to figure that out?
Yeah, how many hours a week do you work in real estate? And
in reality,
like really work, not just I'm gonna fix my database. Like really, like how many? I'm sorry. I just get so aggravated when people are like, I'm so busy with your 2 deals you've done in the last 6 months. What are you busy with? Yeah, I'm getting my database together. That's what they always say.
Right.
Guys, you are not busy getting your database together.
Stop it.
Stop. You know, what you really are working in real estate. And then there's 2 things. I look at what you have earned, and that divided by that would be real, but what you expect to earn, because I think we have to value ourselves in anticipation of the goal.
Yeah.
So in other words, just because I made $50,000 last year doesn't mean I take 50,000 divided by the hours. I want to make 100 this year. So I take 100 divided by the hours, because that's how I have to show up.
And normally we're seeing somewhere around 300 to 500 an hour, right? With average.
Yeah. I mean, even if it's $150 an hour.
Still,
like,
yeah.
Guys, right.
Yeah.
You've got to remember your worth. You've got to remember your worth.
Oh, you're worth it, Monica.
You're so worth it, Mert.
All right.
I think that's going to have to be the end of today's.
You said this, didn't you?
Well, yeah, I think that's going to have to be the end of today's battle. What do you guys think? Who do you agree with? Have you given up? What's the most money you've ever given up? Go to our Facebook page.
Don't answer that.
Yeah, I don't mean by like a mistake you had to make right, because you're right. That's what we had to do. I had to spend $1,000 in the last year. I had to spend $1,000 on a mistake I made.
I mean, you should always fix your mistakes.
For sure. For sure. Not a question.
Taking responsibility and ownership and just being a person.
You got it. So go to our Facebook page, Toe to Toe Podcast. Let us know how you feel about this, who you think won, and if you have ever had to give up your commission.
Oh, yeah. And don't forget, if you do like the podcast, go ahead and subscribe and download and share it with your friends. If you really like it, please rate us and write a review. It helps us get seen.
Yeah. All right. I'll see you next time, Mert.
Bye, Monica.
Bye.